In this video, I'm going to show you how to capture keyboard input within Unity. Unity provides a number of ways for us to handle keyboard input. It has a built-in input manager for defining inputs, and Unity also has scripting available to create our own input system. The input manager is half in the Unity editor and half in scripting, and has a number of features that can make getting input easier. Input manager can be found by going to Edit, Project Settings, Input. Now the inspector will show the input manager, and under the axes, we will see various commands defined. It will be defined by a name, and then a keyboard button, mouse button, or some of these will have joystick axes. On the scripting side of things, the input manager can be accessed by using input get axis and the axis name we want to retrieve. In this case, fire1, which is defined as left control. The get axes method will return a float. For keyboard input, this is either going to be a 0 or 1. 0 means not pressed, and 1 means pressed. So in this case, we're going to check to see if fire1 is pressed. If it is, we were going to rotate 45 degrees per second around the up axis. Let's see what that looks like. There it is. Holding left control provides us with a rotation around the up axis at 45 degrees per second. There are two other ways to get keyboard input from scripting. We can get input using the input get key methods. And there's also an on GUI method, which posts GUI events. Those events include input events. Those won't be covered in this video. Getting keyboard input during the update call with the input get key down methods is the most common and oftentimes the most practical way to get input. Since the update function is where we make a number of decisions about how we want objects to respond and act, having the input available there to help us make those decisions is great. Unity uses ASCII values and some of their own values to assign a unique key code to each character. We can easily access that code through the key code enum. For example, here, the key code for space is mapped to keycode.space. And there are a lot of other options for keys. Now that we know how to talk keys with Unity, we need to know what questions to ask. There's a few common questions about keys we want answered about a key. For example, is this key pressed? Was this key pressed just now? Or was this key released just now? Unity provides simple ways to ask those questions with the input get key down, and input get key up. In this example, I'm showing how get key down, get key, and get key up work using the space key. Here we see get key down. It only returns true once in the first frame to be processed after the key is pressed. Get key will return true for as long as the key is pressed. And get key up will return true only once in the first frame to be processed after the key is released. So in this case, we're going to see if the space key was just pressed. If it was, we're going to translate 5 units along the x-axis. Then we're going to test to see if the space key is currently being held. If it is, we're going to rotate